Well, oh, well, oh, well, oh, well, oh, well. If it isn't the internet. How are you, everybody? How is you doing? Some people had some dramatic demands. Let's address the demands from the early chat. We had the early chat demands. Some people out there on the internet had some demands for certain audio tracks on the intro. Now, I spoke to a contractor earlier this week, and I'm going to utilize that contractor's words. You know what he told me? He said, with enough time and enough money, anything can be accomplished. Do you get what I'm saying? And considering the fact that we're all working within a budget, we have to limit ourselves to those budgetary limitations. You know what I'm saying? And you guys, I do my best to procure some good tunes for the intro. I thought that was a lovely song, and I thought it was a good intro song. But I also realized that I dropped the opacity too low on this. Let's bump it up a little bit. I want it to be opaque, but not so opaque as you can't even see it. There we go. I kind of like it like that. There we go. Yeah. So, we spoke to I spoke to some contractors this week. I had some interesting stuff going on. I've been working pretty hard. As you guys know, I've been doing my crazy long 3-day work week so that I could still do the Friday shows here, the Monday shows, and still continue to try to shoehorn YouTube content in there, which it's coming along. I don't know. We'll see how it goes as far as like new videos and stuff come They will come at some point. To speak of to the budgetary demands and the budgetary limitations, I basically can do as much video production time as I can make happen, and that time is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller every single passing week. And in the meantime, we'll just keep slogging along here and working our way towards someday having more and more and more time. Who knows? Maybe we'll get to that point. Mikey says it was a fine song, but no couscous. There was no mention of the couscous. Yeah, that's a different jam. I don't know where that song went. I wonder if I have it. I don't know if I have it in this scene. Let me see. What do we got here? Well, that's not it. Skip track. There we go. That's not it either. I don't know. It's somewhere in there. We'll find the couscous jam for you at some point. But speaking of the internet stuff, we have this year been through a lot. We've been through a pandemic. It is still raging in the United States. I don't know about your neck of the woods, but it is wild out here. And a quick reminder here at the beginning of the show to just like wear your mask, sanitize your hands, do all that kind of stuff. Do everything you got to do. Brook Nose Fishing says, "Sir, are you done making fish rooms?" No, I literally spend all week building infrastructure for fish rooms. Currently building a project for Aquarium Co-op. I believe if you're a member on the Aquarium Co-op channel, you could see some member videos of that project as it continues moving forward. I'm sort of behind the scenes guy doing doing behind the scenes stuff. I'm doing all the electrical, which is just literally, you're just not going to make a video about that because it's exceedingly boring in layman's terms, because it's an extremely large building, and if you're running like one of the wire pulls that I had to do this week was like, so I had to take 10-3 wire up from the panel down, and I don't want to get this number wrong, but I think 36 ceiling joists, like 100 feet, then across like 35 feet, then down a wall to an exterior. That might not be right. It might not be 100%, but it's like 100 feet this way, 40 feet that way, then down from, a shop height. So like 10 feet, 11 feet to a pole box on the outside, on the exterior of the building. So, and stuff like that would be a crazy time lapse of me crawling around in a very shallow roof in the dark, moving along slowly but surely, not kicking holes through the drywall up there. So I don't make videos about any of that stuff. There are a couple of like really good electrical channels. If you guys are interested in that, a very simple. There's like Electrician U, there's the Sparky channel, and then one other one that come up on my feed. I don't know. I occasionally have them go on. So, it's it's one of those things. Donald's Fish Vibe says, "What's Joel doing electrical?" I know how. That's something I do. I love doing electrical. I love doing electrical work. It's kind of one of my favorite things, realistically, that I really like to do. I like running. I love running conduit around. I love doing the math on, voltage and wattage conversion and amperage and all that. I love doing that stuff. I love fixing old, crappy, wrong circuits, like, taking out old circuits and replacing them with, nice 120 volt instead of something that's bleeding a whole bunch of voltage all around and for some reasons only putting out 104 to the outlet. You know what I'm saying? So I love doing that. And I did the whole house here, and I don't really have that much to do here except wire in some more lights, which is kind of going to be kind of boring, realistically. Donald's Fish Vibes is wondering what's the best shock I've got. 220 is the worst. 110, 120 is not really that big of a deal. That just kind of like, but DC. AC is not that bad, but DC is the one that really scares me. I used to work on big trucks running 24 volt with like 6 batteries stacked, daisy chained together. And one of the guys I used to work with, so this is like 2002. Gosh, that's almost 20 years ago. But one of the guys I worked with had this insane scar where he'd connected a wrench to the channel of the body, and it grounded out, and it pulled the DC current through his hand. And his hand was all just mangled up and disgusting. So DC freaks me out. AC doesn't really freak me out that much, but Dave says, of all the construction things I've done as a homeowner, I think electrical is probably the one I like the best as well. Tape and mud the least. I worked for a drywall company on the weekends for a couple of years. Well, maybe like 2 years. I used to moonlight all of my weekends doing drywall by myself, fixing screwed up drywall. That's something I used to do, and I don't really mind drywall that much. Like, I like doing all construction things if you know what it is that you're doing. If you have a plan and you show up with the right tooling and you're ready to work on it, it's not really that big deal. Broken Hooks says, what are some posters you recommend? Trying to get some posters in my room. Posters, I would say, like, I would look up the posters. Like Dennerley has like a lot of really good posters that would be worth it. Tony Franzen says the amps. It's the amps that is dangerous. Yep, pretty much. Yes. You don't want big amperage draw. That's going to get you. DC batteries is what freaks me out, though, honestly. When you look at the battery and it says like 1,200 cold cranking amps, and there's 6 of them daisy chained together to move around a really big cold motor with glow plugs in it. Yep. It takes a lot to get those big diesel motors going. ESPN had electrician competitions on their Ocho Day right after Cornhole. Really? I'd love to see that, actually. Worst I got was an old school phone line. Had my hands on both wires when the daughter-in-law called. Hooked me during the whole first ring. Oh, man. Always disconnect anything before you ever work on it. That's the best advice I can give to anybody out there. Disconnect everything. Always. Don't ever assume anything is connected. Don't ever assume anything is disconnected. Consider your lockouts. Lockouts are very important. Always lock out your panels, stuff like that. Turn them off. Disconnect. Yes, 100%. But one of the fun things about being doing electrical work is that, to any of the electricians out there, I know that Vince Grippa watches the show and stuff. He's a awesome electrician. One of the funny things about being an electrician is that you kind of have to know all of the other stuff too. Like you have to know framing, you have to know drywall, you have to know plumbing, you have to know all of the roofing. You got to know all this stuff to do electrician work. So it's a pretty well-rounded field. Most of the guys I know that do electrical are like, yeah, they could pretty much build you a house from the ground up. Whereas, a guy who just does framing might not know where to put the panel or which wires are live. So not to downplay framers. Those guys are good too. Pipex was first to the chat today. What's up, Pipex? My guy, Mikey Fishy second. Zombie Drummy, Zombie Drummer was third. Wesley's Fish Club, Mike Kenseth S. Myrdul Singh, Dave's Aquariums, Tony Franzen, Big D Smoke, and I think that's James N. I think that's the top 10, right? Did I get 10? It feels like 10. Big D Smoke says I can listen while I'm waiting on my bag. Oh, he must already be in Chicago. I know Big D Smoke is weathering the danger of coronavirus out there traveling around to do some family stuff, so hope that works out. Streetwise says it was fascinating. Speed and quality counted. They used a framed room with no walls. Huh. All right. I'm gonna check that out. I bet it's on YouTube, so I'm gonna see if I can figure that out. Tony Franzen fused a wrench between a battery and an isolation switch on the boat last year. Yeah. Yep, DC freaks me out. I'm extra careful around DC, that's for sure. What is your opinion on the Phoenix Planted Plus 24/7? I'm running 2 on my 29-gallon growing Ludwigia pretty well. I like the Phoenix, but what's the word I'm looking for here? The lenses on the Phoenix aren't as nice as I would have expected. Though the Fluval 3.0 doesn't even have any lenses on it. So I think they're just a little lower quality LED to my knowledge, but they work fine. They work great. If you've got one, I really just wouldn't spend my time or money getting something different, especially on like a 29-gallon. You shouldn't need to be jamming too much light into a tank that's that big. That's not a very big tank. You don't have a ton of depth for water penetration to be happening. So I would say if you have 2 on there and you are finding deficiencies, my guess, if I had to guess, would be fertilizer and CO2. Those would be the 2 things that if you're not able to grow, like dwarf baby tears and stuff like that. If you're having problems with those plants, those are probably where your deficiencies are if that is going on. But I like the Finex lights. They work fine. I wouldn't see any reason to change to anything else. I think realistically, people talk about lights so much, and I think lights become like really stressful to a lot of people because it's sort of confusing that it's like, well, this one's putting out a lot of light, but people say it's not the right spectrum. Like, what's the Kelvin rating supposed to be? What's the PAR rating? What's the PER rating? All this stuff that goes into the lights. But I think realistically, as far as an upgrade path goes, if you're already onto a reasonably known LED like the Finex Planet Plus, there's not really an upgrade path, but you could be deficient in CO2 and fertilizer. That's generally where I would go. Michael Sarr says, I've done that wrench thing before. Almost had a Craftsman tattoo on the palm of my hand before I broke it loose. Yeah, that's bad news. I ran a drill on a hammer straight through an electrical pipe in the wall trying to put up a 65-inch TV frame. All I saw was dark and smoke. Thank God I didn't get the shock. Yeah, luckily most power tools are internally grounded now because of that. Most of them have a grounding path that will stop you from taking the brunt. A lot of times the tool will take the brunt, but that always double check, triple check. If you can get a good always check your wall. Always check your walls and stuff like that before you drill into anything. If you can get a good penetrating stud finder, most stud finders now. I thought I had one on my desk here. I thought I had a spare one on my desk, but it seems to have. I probably threw it in my bags. It's probably in my shop or something now. But if you can get a good stud finder, more often than not now they have an electrical notifier on it that will tell you like, hey, there's electrical wires back here. Move over here, nothing. Move back, move here, move back. Okay, I bet you there's a wire behind there. So always check that kind of stuff. There are codes in place, but a lot of people don't follow code, so just assuming that there isn't something behind there is not a good idea. Andrew Homan says, I got hit by 277 line of a 483 face. Oh, my God. Oh. Says, feels like getting hit by a train. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't get bound at all because you probably would have lost limbs on that one. Wow, that is wild. Dave says, yeah, 480 face voltage will toss you out of your shoes. Yeah, you'd be surprised if you had shoes left after that. Who said it's concrete walls? Oh, okay. So you hit a pipe in a concrete wall. Okay, yeah. I mean, you could still, I've definitely done a bunch of the concrete drilling in my days. It's kind of wild when there is a pipe, but if you can at least visually assess where the pipe with the electrical might be in it from the surrounding area, so like entrance points. If there happens to be boxes like buried in the wall or even just superficially attached to the wall, that kind of stuff, if you can look for that, would be helpful in that situation. But, some accidents are just going to happen. But just as a reminder to everybody out there, like always utilize things like a stud finder and stuff like that to double check and see what the hell's going on behind any kind of closed wall. Doesn't matter. Tony Franzen says, I have a blue Bosch one, separates wood, pipes, and electrical. Yeah, I don't have one like that. Mine's not a Bosch, but it basically does that. Same thing. Broken Hook says, nope, I'm growing all my plants very well in CO2 and ferts, adding once every 4 days with water changes since I'm trying to do a Dutch style. Nice. Sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I like those Finex lights are the recommended sort of budget light that I would normally recommend to people when they're looking for when you're looking for kind of a more budget LED light. But I think realistically everybody should be switching to LED light just for the efficiency, the efficacy, just how good they are. They do a great job. Even Tom Barr is finally, in my opinion, like 10 years too late. But he's run through and had posted the other day. He was switching to LEDs. He posted a thread on Bar Report or wherever he posted. I don't know. Maybe he messaged it to me. I don't know. Streetwise posted the Ideal National Championships on the Discord. Okay, then I will check that out. A wild zip gun appeared. Oh, we must have. We don't have a new member, so we must have a new patron during the show. Oh, we do. We have a brand new patron. We better update this number. People are wondering what these little numbers are down here. This is how many patronizers we have. 208. Before the pandemic, we were at 360, I think, 368. Ooh, a lot of pandemic losses this year. And YouTube members, let's update that. That's over on this computer. Let's take a look. Refresh. Uh-oh. You guys, we're almost back to double digits. 101's not even right. 100 is right. We've lost 2 since Monday. Whew. That's rough. It's rough to lose. It's rough to lose the members these days, man. We can't count on ads or anything like that, so it's kind of a drag. Where was that? Let's see. Where did that go? Oh, I was going to find you guys the where is that one? Let's see. I think. Oh yeah, that specific Bosch one is this one. I think is this the newer one? I can't tell. I think this is the newer one. I don't really know the Bosch tooling all that well, but here's an Amazon link. If you guys buy stuff off of Amazon, it's like Black Friday and all that, and we do get a commission from those guys. So if you go through our link and buy a bunch of stuff, it gives us a commission. So if it's money you're already going to spend, like, who cares, right? Okay, I think we're caught up. I didn't really have a huge topic for today, and I just kind of started talking about stuff, and I realized, like, we're like a half an hour in. So I probably should have done some stuff about fish tanks or whatever. I guess we talked about Phoenix lights, but we didn't get into anything specific. We didn't have any community posts. Oh, except for Dave. Oh, we didn't have any community posts except Dave got one in like 10 minutes before the show started. So let me pull this up. Let's bust out our Patreon, our singular Patreon post of the week. I might need to, let's see. We need to remove that, add source, screen capture, smart selection. We want that smart selector so I can draw a little square here over the area, over the specific area that we're trying to highlight. Boom, like that. Let's make it big. Let's make it bigger. Ooh, is that big enough? Let's move Olivia out of the way. Let's put her back here in the corner. Nobody puts baby in a corner. Nobody. Scootin'. I gotta scoot my tootin'. Rootin' tootin', scootin' rootin'. On the internet. Doing internet stuff. Dave's Aquarium says, new lights. The color is so much better, even with fewer lumens. Some 7-watt CR19798 LED bulbs. I like that. I forget. I recall Dave was saying that, like, they use this channel at his work, like this aluminum channel at the top here to suspend a bunch of stuff. I've never worked with that stuff specifically. I have seen it a couple of times, like in application. Like I've seen other people have put it in, but I've never installed it or really worked with it all that much. But it looks like a great little channel for doing light stuff and everything like this. So I like that. That's some definite DIY action. Yeah, I'd be interested to see. Hey Dave, link me in the Discord these light bulbs at some point, and we will take a look. We'll take a look at them. But yeah, Dave says high CRI bulbs are amazing. That's true, 100%. But yeah, I like it. It's definitely a good looking tank. I like the overall application here. I do worry about your standpipe situation, but I know that your angels love to lay eggs on them, so I wouldn't really change it. But I kind of stopped doing standpipes a while ago, except for in like aquaponic, hydroponic stuff, and just went full overflow and just build an actual overflow chamber, even in glass tanks like this. But to each his own. It's your own like specific thing that you want to do, then just go for it if it's working good. Brandon Burke says, good planted substrate for the money. Don't really care about high end, just whatever gives plants a good base and easy to get. I don't know if that's a question or just a comment, but as a comment, it makes sense. Or maybe if it's a question, Eco Complete's good. Fluorite is good. Fluval, what the hell is Fluval stuff called? Stratum, ADA Amazonia. They're all fine. There's really not that many on the market that I'm really concerned about saying that they're not very good or not. But that's like 4 types. One of them will be reasonably priced in your country, wherever you're at. Donald tried to cull some of the red devils in my cichlid pond. It was torture. They are so friendly. Catching them was easy. I got 10 out, did the act, and couldn't continue. They are huge and tough. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of culling fish unless I really really have to. But I had to cull a chicken a while ago, like 3 weeks ago, and that's not fun. So I'm not a big fan, but I am a big fan of agriculture, and oftentimes you do have to thin the herd and stuff like that. I'm a realist, realizing that we eat meat and we eat food, J.R.R. Herrick is wondering, do you run a custom setting or a 24/7 mode on? I'm not sure. All the lights in my fish room are either the Fluval 3.0, the Fluval 2.0, and Twin Star. So the 2.0s and the Twin Stars, like that stuff, they just run off of a timer, like, just standard light timer. And then the 3.0s, I run off the Bluetooth app that is built into those lights, which I'm a big fan of the versatility and the customization and not having to worry about a light timer. The only downside to the Bluetooth on the Fluval is that you have to manually turn them back on if there's a power outage. Like you have to open up the app and turn the lights back on for them to start running again. I would assume that the 4.0, whenever that comes out, it might be 5 years from now. Who knows? I have no idea. I would assume that that's one of the things that they will fix when the 4.0 comes out. So I do look forward to the 4.0. That excites me. But I really like the 3.0. Flu balls myself, but to each his own, right? To each his own. But Dave didn't post the those light bulbs, so we're not going to be able to look those up until he does. But Streetwise, in fact, did post the National Elite Tradesman 2019 Electrical Championship. Dudes, I'm going to check that out. That looks entertaining to say the least. I'm gonna definitely take a look. Oh, Dave, he sent it to me in the. Never mind. He sent it to me in the DMs. Hey, are you calling in? Who's calling in today on the Patreon or on Discord? Somebody call in today. Let's see. eBay. Oh, they're on eBay. Well, I'm not an eBay affiliate, dude. Let's see if we can't find this. Let's see if we can't find this on Amazon. Yeah. Copy. Oh, I still got my window open. Let me close my window. Oh, I only closed the arrow. There we go. Okay. Let's see if we can't find this on Amazon. If anybody's looking to buy light bulbs, right? Because somebody out there might be looking to buy some freaking light bulbs, dude. I don't want to post an emoji. That's not. We want to paste. Why would anybody even post an emoji in the automatic right-click feature of utilizing this thing here? I don't know. Looks like Amazon doesn't have it via that. Let's see. Let's see if we can't go like this. Let's go like this. Oh, so those are CRI like 95, right? Oh, here it is. I didn't look it up the first time. Oh, you can't be mad at these being $8. I might install some of these in my shop. I do need to change out some of the light fixtures in my workshop, and I might do that with something like these. That might work. Where the hell did my chat go? I lost my chat, dudes. There we go. Control V. There. That's the one that I'm talking about right there. Yeah. That's the same one. I found the eBay posting, but it's on Amazon, and it looks to be $3 cheaper. These on eBay they are $10. On Amazon. Oh no, sorry, they're $2. Are they $2 cheaper? Yeah, they're $2 cheaper. They're $7.99. So imagine the savings, guys. Yeah. Think about the savings. I wonder if anybody had their audio up loud enough that they could actually hear what I was talking about. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, I think we're somewhat something. I think we're somewhat something. I don't know. Words. Play a song for a second. That's what my brain said. My brain says play a song for a second. All right, let me find a song. Let's try this one. It's not the freshest beat. Yeah, I don't hate it. I like that little break. That's a pretty good little break there. It's not thick. It's not thick. Is this thick? That doesn't have the thickness I'm looking for. Oh, this one's kind of thick. And then I can just let that play in the background a little bit. All right. Yeah, Dave sent me the DM. He says they were 3-pack was 16 when he bought him. Is that? Do we believe that? It almost makes me wonder if Dave's trying to make me feel foolish right now. Are you trying to make me feel foolish right now, Dave? Because Amazon would be 2 for 16. Right? And then, does this button work? There we go. But otherwise, it's pretty affordable. I think that's the reality that we're all coming down to right now. I think that's the reality that we all have to recognize. I like to have a little freshness in the background. It's kind of smooth. It's kind of smooth. I mean, I paid for the audio licensing for all these songs, and I got hit with a copyright strike, but I just smashed them back with my license number, and they were like, "Oh, never mind. We had a problem." They were like, "Hey, you have the copyright to use the songs, so never mind. That was our bad. Oops." And I was like, "Yeah, that is an oops." And they were like, "Yeah, no worries." Brandon Burke says, shout out to your videos on freshwater sumps. Can't wait to get mine going. Just too much upside not to run one. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm working on a new sump series. Then I really don't know when that's gonna come out. I don't like making promises to you guys. I just, it's just more of a statement of it's stuff that I'm working on. I happen to be streaming right now, which is a couple hours out of my day, Monday and Friday, and the rest of the time I'm kind of working on this, I'm working on that, and then the baby comes home at 5, and there just hasn't been really any opportunity to stay up late and work on YouTube videos and stuff to try and fill out the time. And then Vicky's in her super busy season right now, so she has to work. She has to work Saturdays also. She's working constantly. She keeps doing these nighttime meetings that she has to do. So, we'll see what happens, but it is what it is. You think those bulbs would be good as basking light for some turtles? Yeah, I think it might be pretty good for a basking light. Yeah. It might be pretty good. I don't know. We could just sit here and I'll talk while music plays. Here, let me see. My level's pretty low. I mean, I'm running at negative 29 decibels. I don't know why it would be that loud. There we go. How about that? I don't know, but either way. It's not like that song was going to last forever either. The song only lasts like a certain amount of time, and then you come to the end of the song, right? Either way. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, as I mentioned earlier, you got only producers can request music or not. If you have the producer credit, then you can request music or not. That's kind of how that roll. That's kind of how we roll around here. Somebody mentioned it to me a while ago. They were like, sometimes you run your show like a business, like you're trying to get sponsors and people to run it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what it's all about. So that I could build projects, like fish rooms and stuff that aren't for other people. Like if I do them for other people, the chances of me filming them are basically zero. The main reason for that is that the filming time cuts into my work time unless I just set up a camera that runs a time lapse for the whole entire day. But the reality is, like, a time lapse of people just walking around like stuff is going on or whatever is not a very good video to put up onto YouTube. It just really isn't. Like, there's not enough context. There's no story to it. And so it's like I end up just filling up memory cards and hard drives with with these like time lapses of people walking around and like lights turning on and off and stuff. So yeah, I mean, that is the whole point, is like if people want to sponsor the project, then we can do the project. Like if not, then I'll just keep going to work, John Johnston says, "Hey Joel, I can't run CO2 in the present system. Can you think of a rare-ish plant that I could try out? Thank you." Well, one of the big issues with like rare plants is that most of them require some kind of CO2, which is kind of what makes them to be rare, right? Because what ends up happening is if you have a plant that's like really easy to grow, a lot of people grow it, and then a bunch of it's in the market, and then it's not a rare plant anymore. So it's understandable to me that people have tanks that they can't run CO2. I mean, it's obviously costs money. That's the reality, is that it costs money to run CO2 and stuff like that. For sure. 100%. It costs money to run CO2, but that's generally what makes the plants rare, is that taking them from out in nature, bringing them into a tank is prohibitive to a lot of people because they just come in and they melt and they die. And like I bought a rare plant 4 weeks ago. It was like an $80 plant that I was super excited for, and it just melted off and died away. I'm going to see if the little bit of remaining root and stem and stuff I have can maybe sprout something, but chances are it's probably just going to die. So like that's a perfect example of like I got rare plant, I brought rare plant, I put it in a healthy tank. I even split it and put it into 2 different tanks with kind of slightly different water parameters and whatnot to hopefully one of them do well. And both of them just melted off. They just melted right away because of the change in conditions that they were in from where I got them. They were shipped here, so they were in shipping. Then I brought them in, dropped them in some tanks, and they just died. So it's like that's a perfect example of like how a rare plant is rare, right? How am I says, can your sump related content work for a small aquarium like a 55-gallon? Yeah, 100%. I've run 7-gallon aquariums, 7.9-gallon aquariums. I've plumbed them into sumps. So could you do something smaller? Probably. I just never have. No. I did a 2-gallon tank into a tiny canister filter. So That's kind of close, but not exactly the same thing. It's more of a closed system than a sump. But really, just the sizing of the pipes and stuff like that would just be the hard part. Let's see. The music seems louder because it's so compressed. Your voice isn't. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I did download. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if I tried this out. Let me see if we got something here. What did I think I put it into this folder. How do I have this? Let's see. Sort by... What? Sort by date. Why is that not in here? I'm going to add this in. It makes it way easier for me to... Date visited, date received, date created. There we go. I like everything to be filed by date created. That works better for my brain. I don't know about you guys, but date created. There we go. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but that works for me big time. Let's see if we can't... Cinematic glows, crown. This is one of the things I was trying to do, like in the background. Now, see, that's way too long. Let's open this up. And then we go like this. Forever. And then let's see if we can't get. You see, that doesn't work. That one's not a loop. Let me remove this one. Remove. Add source. Files. Let's just try this one. And then let's go like this. Okay, and then we'll have it go forever. That looks to like be like a reasonable mix. If I go like that, that seems about right. Then again, I can always bring myself up a little bit louder. I can bring myself up like this loud. Anything louder than that, and then it's like, dude, what happened? Let me see. Then let me open up the mixer. Oh. And then we wonder. Yeah, because it goes like pretty default loud to the speakers. There. Let me just leave like a fresh beat in the background. Because like on the mixer over here, that should be about right. But let me try if I go into the file and see where the file is at, how loud that is. This probably drive people nuts. I don't know. We'll try it like that and we'll see what happens. Oh, Simply Beta. Like I saw you were moving your fish room at some point in time or something. You're moving houses or you posted a video. Everybody should check out Simply Beta's video. It's way better than my video because I didn't even post one this week. So that's pretty. It's pretty. It's not even a competition, right? But I heard she's moving and she's gonna have like a cool new fish room somewhere. I don't know where, but I wonder where she's moving. I wonder if they're just moving like across town, or if they're relocating somewhere cool, like I don't know, Washington State, like get out of Idaho. Oh, YouTube says we dropped the stream 100%, 0 viewers. I wonder if that's true. It says 600,000 people are watching today. That's how I feel. This is how sometimes I just gotta be out here in my office, like vibing. Sometimes I just gotta get my vibe. I don't know what my vibe is, but I tell you, it's a strong vibe. Let's see. Well, moving and a nice fish room is the goal. Ooh, that is good. That is, more often than not, pretty good. Alyssa Bentley says, have you ever turned one of those 5-gallon water pitcher things into a brine shrimp hatchery? Ooh, no, I haven't, but I bet you could. And they're like legit the right container. Because you basically could just add a bulkhead to the bottom of it. And then, because it's square, let me find one. What do they list them as? 18 cord. Ooh, limited time deal. 39% off, you guys. Imagine the savings. Whoa, savings, my guy. These are some amazing. Is it Black Friday or something? I don't know. So something was sending me a whole bunch of advertising telling me that it was Black Friday, and I'm like, I don't know, my dudes, if it's Black Friday or not. But today's Friday the 13th. It's pretty spooky. So, who knows, dude? I don't know. Is it Black Friday? I don't know. They said the savings was unbelievable, and we all have to lose our minds over the savings. And I'm like, I don't want to lose my mind over the savings because I don't really need to buy anything right now. And the only thing I want to buy is a camera lens, and I don't have any money for that. And well, let me rephrase that. I do have like $800 saved for a lens, but the lens I want is $2,699 plus tax, dude. So I mean, I'm not even halfway there, dude. So like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do as far as that goes? I wonder how this sounds. I'm gonna check the sound myself because no one is telling me whether or not the sound is good. And my vanity says I should check it. But the lens I want is $2,690. It's a little loud. It's a little loud, personally. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I'm gonna turn it down like this much, so it's just a little more in the background. Yeah, there we go. All right. What did I just click on? Oh my God, I clicked a button. Something happened. This is a good show. This is a really engaging show that I bet a lot of people would be into. Where I'm like here just jamming out, and a lot of people left, so that's good. Welcome, Oceaneers. Everyone else, get out of here. To avoid crowds, stores are promoting every day is Friday Black, right? Oh my God, that's right. Man, I'll tell you this much, dude. The promotion stuff is bonkers. I gotta tell you, it's pretty wild to be like sitting out here trying to think. Like, every company is constantly advertising, like nonstop, dude. And it's annoying, dude. It's annoying. Like, you just wanna go like watch a little video or something, and you gotta, it's like, oh, Christmas is coming. Everybody get ready to buy all of the stuff, and you're like, I already have stuff. What stuff do you have? And they'd be like, we have a camera lens, and I'd be like, I don't have enough money for that. Get out of here. How much is the savings? $0 off. It's a new product. Okay, crap. Yeah, I'm really interested in the Canon came out with a 100mm to 500mm zoom lens, and that pretty much will cover all all of the nature photography that I like to do, like going out to get pictures of birds and bugs and all sorts of stuff. The stuff that I really like to do, like that is a lens that would really encompass all of that range. Right now, the most range I have is like 150 millimeter, basically. Like I don't have any long range stuff, so that's kind of what I'm looking for right now to try and do more of the nature stuff. I have I sold my old camera, and I have a lens for sale. I don't know if it'll ever sell because, Facebook Marketplace is sketchy as all get out, dude. Like, I get some of the creepiest messages. I mean, YouTube's bad, but Facebook, there's some real creeps on Facebook. I'll tell you that much, dude. But I get some creepy messages on there, and I'm like, dude, this is a totally reasonable lens. It's like $400. Do you want it? No? Okay. And it's just weirdos being weird. And I am considering selling this lens. I don't know if I want to sell this lens. Like, me and this lens, we've been around the world. This is my first real, like, badass lens, right? This is my first, like, real badass lens that I ever got. And I don't think I want to get rid of it. Sentimental value, but also it's an awesome lens. So I'm legit at that point where, like, I have this sentimental feelings towards a lens, and that's a weird thing to acknowledge, that you're like, oh, my buddy, we've been around the world, buddy. I don't want to get rid of you. I don't want to sell you. And the lens is never going to go bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, the lens is always going to do what the lens going to do. So I don't see a big value in, like, getting rid of it right away. Excuse me. Myrdal Singh says, how's the coffee mug lens? You know what? It's in the shelf, in the kitchen. I don't ever drink out of it, mainly because it doesn't hold enough coffee for my crazy amount of coffee intake that I get up to. Anyone know where I can get a decently cheap sump in Canada? Ooh. That I don't know, but we do have a lot of people that watch the show and stuff like that here that are in Canada, so maybe somebody has something. One of the issues is like, if I give the advice for somebody to be like, go check something out in Canada, and then they're like, oh, that's 10 times the price that I would even think that it would be. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. Like, Canada's crazy. You have totally different prices than America. Crap. Same as Europe and everywhere else. Excuse me. The cough continues, dudes. I'm going to have this cough forever, I think. I think that's pretty much how it's going to go. Just got 2 20-pound boxes of Carib Sea. Another's on the way. Would it be enough for a 75? Maybe. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I mean, if you're doing Carib Sea, that means you're doing, like, crushed aragonite and stuff like that, right? So you're not doing a Planet Aquarium. You're probably doing either a saltwater tank or like a weird cichlid tank. God, excuse me. If that's the case, then you probably have enough substrate. Yeah. Oh my God, Donald's Fish Vibe said that Simply Beta is easy on the eyes. She is, though. She's very lovely, and I would say that it's her personality that shines through. The times that I've met her, she's very, very, very nice, genuine person, and that's the big part as far as I'm concerned. But she is very aesthetically pleasing too. She's a very nice looking gal. That's just the truth. Canada is crazy. Can never find anything anyone uses on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, that's the issue. Is like, Canada's a different country. There's one of the weird things is that all my brothers and sisters up in the north, like, you guys are so close, and it's sort of, we share the biggest border in the world, and we're all very close to each other and stuff like that. But it is 100% a different country. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's just very weird. Aquarium Channel Full 20 says greetings. I wonder what that's all about. Is that all about the marijuana? It seems like there's been a lot of weed heads in the chat today. That's kind of interesting. I don't know. Luckily, it's becoming more and more legal because I think it's impossibly stupid to stick people in jail for marijuana. That's just my belief. Because I'm an adult. Friday already. This week went fast from Paula. That's right. Oh, Dave gave us some clarity on those light bulbs. The prices are all over the place on those. They change every week. Which is pretty common for pretty much any kind of consumable like that, especially one that supposedly is long lasting, right? You don't really know. I don't think any of us really know. How long does it take to get to 50,000 hours? Let's see. 50,000 hours is how many years? Let's see. It gave me 50 hours, which that doesn't 5.7 year 5.7 years. So it'd be like 5.7 years to figure out if the LED bulb like actually lasted 50,000 hours, which is insane. I don't know how anybody would be able to leave a light on for that long and actually figure out if it lasted. Like, when did it go out? I don't know. Got a notification. I missed a call from Dave. That lasted a few seconds. Oh, what happened? Did I miss a phone call? Oh, man. Well, call back, Dave. I got my Discords open now. Somehow got minimized. Jay Inslee issues travel advisory for Washington. Jay Inslee issued a travel advisory for Washington today recommending a 14-day quarantine for interstate and international travel and asks residents to stay close to home. Hold on a second. I don't know what's going on. The last couple days, I've been totally fine. I come on to do a show on Friday, and all of a sudden now I'm like coughing again. It's bizarre, and I almost swore on my live stream. You guys would catch me on that one. Catch me outside. I just got demonetized. Oh well. We have a sponsor for today's show. We have a super chat sponsor from PipeX. Well, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much, PipeX. I appreciate it. What is that? The hippopotamus? I think that's a hippopotamus. Turn his hat on backwards. Thank you very much, dude. I appreciate it. And another super chat from Simply Beta says, now I have to add towards this new lens. Well, thanks, dude. I think I'm currently on the pay for the internet this month. I think that's the current cost overage that we're on right now. Miradol says I'm allergic to my mic. That might be. Might very well be. I might need to get a new cover for my mic. Olivia was down here and we were recording some audio. I was trying to get her to sing, and it was like totally impossible. She sings all the time, except for when I'm recording her. It's bizarre. I don't know. It's a little bit rough. Big Red says, how about speaking on cloudy water, suspended algae, and microorganisms in the water column? Possibly any tips on how to remove it without UV? So cloudy water is typically, it's either bacterial or, as you said, algae. And it could be one of the two things. And typically, you'll get cloudy water and those like algae bloom from that kind of stuff from a tank that's like it's either having like a bacterial issue, a fungal issue, or an algae issue. Those are the three things. Okay, there we go. Get my brain thinkings on this for a second. But almost always the issue is that you've made some kind of big change, or the basically like the bacterial ability to process what is going on in your aquarium is insufficient. So it's like the amount of beneficial bacteria that you have in there was not enough to keep up with whatever change happened. It very well could have been a power outage. It could have been a temperature change. There's a whole litany of things that could be going on. But cloudy water, I always recommend people to do small water changes to help clear it up. Good Lord, hold on a second. All right, there we go. I always recommend people to do like a 10% water change daily or every other day, and just keep doing that until the system can kind of balance back out. That's essentially like the best advice that I can give to pretty much anybody out there. I don't even tell people to get a UV sterilizer. It's not even advice that I would give to anybody. Because a UV sterilizer, in my opinion, is generally treating the symptom and not the disease. And subtle water changes can really help recover the system from what has gone wrong. I've tested this theory in my own aquariums a whole bunch of times. I really don't, it's not something that I encounter nowadays, but I did, probably 10, 15 years ago. I used to run into like green water and cloudy water and all this kind of crazy stuff. And I almost always recovered from that stuff by doing the legwork, doing those little water changes, and continuing to do it is what would really help clear out that stuff. Yeah, I don't know how I missed a phone call. That's crazy. We had a caller that was going to call in, and we missed it. It was Dave. We miss you, Dave. Try to call in. If Dave calls in and drops F-bombs, do I get demonetized? Yeah, probably. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's switch to this. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Where'd my buttons go? I lost my buttons. All right, there we go. Oh, this one's loud. I'm going to turn it way down. There we go. All right. I changed the music, Rumbust, because I like... Rumbust has sponsored the show a whole bunch. I respond to threats from Rumbust. Oh my God, it's Dave.
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going?
Hold on a second. There we go. Okay. Let me change your audio. There we go. Okay. Speak now.
I'm speaking.
Oh, there we go. Oh, he's loud. He's super loud.
I'm super loud?
No, I'm over here.
I do have a tendency to do that sometimes.
I'm playing with the settings. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Yeah. All right. That looks right.
Hear you fine.
Okay.
You sound good. You sound good on my end.
Okay.
Question is, can the internet hear me?
I don't know, dude. How would I it'd be possible for me to figure out if they could hear you or not? How would I ever know? It's not like anyone could communicate with me or anything like that.
I actually I just pulled the audio up on the YouTube tab, and I did hear myself say, "Hey." So we're running about 40 seconds lag from Discord back throughout to the internet.
I accidentally hit the today's stream setting is normal latency instead of low or ultra. So yeah, you guys are like 30 seconds behind.
That's okay.
Which is super hard to do an interactive show if you don't click that, because then people are behind.
Yeah.
And, you're dude, what happened? And they're like, I don't know, man. You have to wait for people to respond through chat.
Just understand that the turtle has to deliver all the bits to everybody's computer one at a time.
Really? Is that how they're doing it? Is that how it's going these days?
That's what I hear. I don't know.
That's
When I have the
crazy.
VPN hooked up from my work, it's ridiculous. But I wanted to mention a couple of things. First, thank you for fixing the audio so that we can talk and people can hear us. Um, the
Well, it was
stuff
like
on
one of
top
those
my,
nightmare things where I clicked buttons on the computer.
I
So
hate it
it's
when
like,
that happens.
it's
Stupid
the weird
buttons. Why
thing
won't
is,
you
is the
click?
weird thing about it is um, like you're doing work with air quotes, like it's work related, but it's not like, you know what I mean? If I pick up
Yep.
a whole bunch of lumber and like nail it into squares and then nail those squares together and then nail triangles on the top of it, people are like, "Oh my God, he built a building! Oh, he's doing work." But if I'm down here in my office and I'm listening to Pantera and clicking buttons on the computer and just kind of cussing quietly to myself, like Vicky's like, "What is he doing?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm trying to make the buttons work via the internet."
Yeah. Internet jobs are weird like that.
Yeah. What else? What else you got?
The stuff that's above my tank that holds my lights is from a company called 8020.
Mm-hmm.
You can find them online at 8020.net. That is the industrial erector set. McMaster-Carr sells a version of it that is a little bit cheaper and mostly compatible. And that's actually what I have. But yeah, we use a ton of it at work.
Right.
It is not super cheap, but it is super strong and super valuable in situations where you need to make something that is sturdy and
Lightweight.
rebuildable, or
rebuildable.
just fixing a one-off problem in an industrial or commercial setting.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I buy the super cheap channel and stuff like that, instead of that stuff, because it's expensive.
It is expensive. I pulled this out of the scrap bin at the office. That's why I have it.
Right.
I normally wouldn't buy this for myself. I'm not that nice to me.
It's one of those upsides of like working a job where you're like, dude, I can get all the transistors you could ever want, and then people are like, well, what are you going to do with them at home? And you're like, well, I have some. And yeah, that's how that is.
I would show you the pile of amplifiers that's on my workbench currently over my left shoulder, but I don't have a camera to share with you.
I don't want to get in trouble right now. I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations has run out. But are you familiar with Mackie monitors and mixing boards and stuff?
Oh yeah. I have. I used to drive a lot of their products semi-professionally.
I used to do grounds maintenance on their campus where they built all their equipment. And,
nice. I bet their dumpsters were fantastic.
Uh-huh. Because they had those four-sided dumpsters, if you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So there's an open top, and then one of the sides is completely open. So they would throw all of their scrap, stuff that like didn't meet their variance,
Oh no, it has a scratch.
Yeah, so I had a truck that had I think I had like 10 Mackie monitors built into it for listening to music, which would cost
the studio monitors or the SRM 450s.
Those 6-inch ones.
Oh, okay, yeah, those were pretty cool.
Yeah, those things pushed like a lot, and it would have cost, like $10,000 to do that or something.
Yeah, their stuff is not cheap at retail.
Well, even back then it was more expensive. It's been a long time, but it's more affordable now. Actually, I was kind of surprised. I was looking at getting some new monitors last year. I ended up getting some M Audios instead, but I was like, wow, the Mackie ones are actually only like $200 versus the ones I got were like M Audio, like studio drivers. They're pretty good, but they were only $100, so.
Yeah, I actually like the stuff from M Audio a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Mackie, they serve their market very well.
Uh-huh.
I'll put it that way.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Well, it's like Fluval,
I
man. If you try to buy Fluval stuff in Australia, you will go broke.
oh my God.
Um,
In
but like
Germany,
if
it's probably quite affordable.
what's that?
I bet it's quite affordable in Germany or wherever it's actually produced.
Yeah, I mean, you can go country to country, like especially in the EU. Like I was talking to Oliver Knott one day, and I was like, because he keeps doing all these demonstrations in Italy, right? And I was like, why do you keep going down to Italy? And he's like, oh, the market's completely different in Italy than it is in Germany. And I'm like, yeah, but you guys are all in the EU. And he's like, it's still different, even though even though everybody's under the EU umbrella. Like it's different in the Italian market because Italy like helps promote certain things. So like, but like Fluval, one of their assembly plants is in Italy and not Germany.
Oh wow. Okay.
But if I recall correctly, like Fluval is owned by Hagen now, and
Uh-huh.
I think Rolf Jr. is American. I think he was American born. I think his dad was but I could be wrong. He might be Canadian. Who knows?
I've never looked that hard.
He had a strong North American accent when I talked to him.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, I mean, even within the U.S., though, there's massive differences in prices of things state to state.
mm-hmm. That's for sure. Did we lose all of our viewers? I think we lost all of our viewers. I think they don't want to.
I still show 48.
Oh yeah, we lost a
Um,
bunch of
the
people
other
left.
thing I wanted to mention was the standpipes in my aquarium to bring us back to aquarium content. Um, I when I got that tank to replace the 180 that cracked, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't like the look of the glass on the back panel.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really describe it any other way than that. I didn't want to drill the back panel of that tank.
Right.
So I bottom drilled it because it was my first gigantic tank and I wanted something that was both well understood and well known and relatively easy. So I did the bottom drilling and I put the PVC in and it's working fine. And originally I had planned to hide it with lots and lots of Valsnaria, but Val doesn't seem to like me.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that likes me less is Java moss, but I'm going to end up with a whole pile of stem plants there once the last 2 runs of Val die, probably around Christmas, and I'll pick
Oh
up a
right.
bunch of Bacopa carolinia or maybe some hygrophilia for that, and let it go nuts in that end of the tank.
Mm-hmm.
And that'll hide them real nice, and nobody will ever complain about them again. And the angels will have to spawn on the slates that I have, which are not in this picture, by the way.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking like I don't see him. I remember you saying that you were going to
I
add some.
put I put one on the right side and one on the left side,
Mm-hmm.
and they're 10-inch by 6-inch slate tiles, and I just lean them up against the sides.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, I do something different, but I'm a lazy aquarist, so that works. And then I also have to clean out the giant mound of water sprite in the middle of the tank and move that center light over a little bit because right now it's not only blocking light, but it's blocking flow. And I probably literally got 5 pounds of water sprite in the center of my tank.
Yeah, I got some water sprite in a little while ago, and I remember why I don't have water sprite in my aquariums.
I'm thinking about putting dividers in the water underneath the top braces and
Mm-hmm.
getting something a little less aggressive for the top of the center of the tank there.
Yeah, I like what is it? I like Frogbit. It seems to kind of be the best little floater if you want something that's kind of floaty like that, and then you can kind of keep it corralled because then all you really need
Yeah.
is some of that clear airline tubing, and then
Uh-huh.
just get a connector piece, connect it, and then make a circle, and you can kind of just keep it inside the circle. It's kind of, it's the interesting way to do it.
That would be
Easy way.
nice, because then I also have two sponge filters in the very back of the tank there, and if I set it up right, I could let the bubbles hit the frog bit and not splash, so I could
Yeah.
take the lid off the center of the tank, which would be
Hmm.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd work.
I'll have to try that once I get some motivation.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue right now. Like I'm considering making a bunch of changes to my fish room. Um, but you know, I'm almost like, man, is it even worth it? To like do all this construction, and make a bunch of changes when the reality is like, I don't know, man. Like I have the time. I don't know if I have the time to do it. That's kind of the big issue. Is like I run into the like, do I have time to work on that project? Obviously money is a problem, but with me doing all the labor and, being smart about buying stuff, like it's not really that big of a deal, but I want to make a bunch of changes to my fish room, and I just don't know if the value is there, and also whether or not Vicky is wanting me to do that.
Yeah, yeah, I have the opposite problem. I have grand ideas, but I really just don't have the will to get any further than the idea phase, thanks to pandemic-related mental weight. It's been a very rough year in
Yeah,
2020
this year has been
for me.
this. I mean, not to downplay what's going on with you, but like this is like I caught myself doing that the other day as I was like, I don't know what's wrong, what's my problem, blah blah blah, right? And then I was like, wait a minute, this year has been completely insane, like just the regular schedule is bonkers. Like it makes no sense, dude. Like I'm all like, we're dealing with this pandemic. There's no end in sight. We can't figure out like how to mitigate the spread. I mean, I think yesterday there was like 140,000 cases, new cases in the U.S. Like almost every state now has like at least a warning about overrunning the hospitals, like we said we were going to try to not do.
Yeah,
And like at every corner or at every step of this year, there's been, every time we make a little bit of headway, there's the pandemic just like rears back up, and we're not doing enough to get back to normal, and I think everybody's just assuming that we're going to get a vaccination, like we're going to get a vaccine at some point, and I think we will, but that doesn't mean that like everyone's just going to get it and then it work, like,
yeah. And then how long does it work for? And can we actually convince 80% of the population to get it quickly?
right. Yeah, and I don't think
So
we're going to get 80% of the people to even take a vaccine,
it's more like 60% on a good day right now, sadly.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know
But
what we're supposed to do with that, but like this year has just been categorically screwed. I mean, just top to bottom.
is 2020 going to become a pejorative? Like,
Yeah.
are our kids going to
Uh-huh.
grow up and say, "Oh God, don't 2020 me like that"? Come on.
Well, it's possible. I mean, I think it'll probably be completely ignored like the Great Depression. Like we'll reference it, but it'll actually be completely ignored realistically. We'll probably see a lot of governments implement a bunch of strange laws and rules and regulations like 9/11.
Yeah, probably.
And no one will really care,
I think depending on what age kids are right now, they may carry a depression like fingerprint of this on them as they become the next generation in control. We'll see.
Well, that's possible, but I think we all have that. I think every generation has that, just with their own weird thing. For me, it was the Walkman, probably. Cassette
The
tapes.
Walkman, yeah.
The cassette tapes. That's probably what it was.
The dawn of the portable headphone generation.
Yeah, probably. That's probably.
I'm there with you.
I think my new favorite quote that I've come up with was that I mentioned to Olivia. I mentioned to Vicky the other night was I never thought that the internet would radicalize the elderly.
Yeah, I saw that on Discord this morning, and that's something I didn't really ever think would happen either.
Yeah, I
Then
didn't think.
about all of the heptagenarians and octogenarians that are literate enough online to find those things, and yeah, okay, I guess I can see that, but I didn't expect it at all.
Well, it's
Zipgun
weird.
just said, I, for one, owe 2019 a big apology. I think we all owe 2019 a big apology.
Yeah, well, it's weird because like I grew up with these people, right? These are my parents. These are my parents and my grandparents. I'm 40 years old, so you got to think, you could put the age range of my parents, right? Because they're like 20 to 30 years older than I am, right?
Sure.
And I grew up with these.
I hate to interrupt. I gotta jump off the call. I have a work thing I gotta get to. Somebody wants me to do something.
Get out of here, Dave. I'm gonna call Alyssa. Get out of here. I hung up on Dave. He's gonna be mad. I hung up on him, but he had to go to work. It's not my fault. Where's Alyssa? Alyssa's in here, right? Oh my God, I don't see Alyssa. I don't see Alyssa in here. She's not on the Discord. I'm gonna call her. How do I call? Oh my God, I did this before and it didn't work. Well, I don't know. Maybe Alyssa will call me because I can't figure out how to do it right now. Oh, there it is. I can call. I wonder if she's gonna answer. She's gonna be like, "I'm at work. Stop calling me. Do you have a job?" Oh, I don't want to screen share. Am I on the call? Oh. Oh, she hasn't answered. Did she answer?
Hello?
It's Alyssa. Hey, what are you doing?
I was trying a different treatment on a tank that has this extremely persistent cyanobacteria situation.
Oh my God.
Yep. It's crazy.
Are
I've
you
now
over there?
tried 4 things.
You're like legit in the middle of fish tank maintenance.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
That's wild. I got to do mine here after the show. I'm just going to straight up call Alyssa and bug her and be like, hey, you're on the internet now.
I saw that you were going to call me and I was like, oh, shoot. The headphones that I'm wearing right now don't have a speaker attachment, so they're not going to be able to say anything. So I ran to the other room.
That's rad. I'm into it. I was like, I'll motivate people in the real world by calling them from the internet show. Because otherwise you would have just ignored me. You'd have been like, it's a pandemic. I'm not talking to nobody.
Well, we're kind of at that point where, like, maybe we can mail cookies to our family, around the holidays and be like, still thinking about you.
Yeah, maybe. We might accidentally send them the coronavirus, though.
Well, they say that food delivery is not something to be concerned about. And especially if I'm mailing something like baked goods to Minnesota, which is going to take 3 days, in the mail, in the cold, in the whatever. It's any sort of coronavirus particles or whatever, they're going to be.
Yeah, they're not going to be passed off that way. It's just not.
No.
I mean, the reality of like somebody coughing and sneezing all over your delivery thing is just weird,
Yeah.
I mean,
and I think most delivery people understand that that's not the thing to do.
That's like the opposite of the thing to do. Yeah, that's pretty much like Like that's not what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to cough all over the stuff.
Right. Even before the pandemic, now it's even worse. Don't do that because you're just going to kill off your customer base.
Yeah, you're gonna murder everybody. Like everyone's gonna die. It's not good.
Right.
No one's
Exactly.
interested in that. They don't want that delivered to their house.
Right. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know if you've ever had persistent cyanobacteria situation before, but at this point I have
I have.
tried erythromycin, uh, Furan 2, just as a crapshoot, who knows. Um, I've tried that blue-green slime killer stuff. There's blue-green slime stain remover stuff that you can get off of Amazon.
Uh-huh.
I've blacked out the tank. I have tried a UV sterilizer thing. And now I'm trying, now I'm reaching and I'm trying, oh, and I've tried all of those things, of course, with the tank lights out and everything,
Uh-huh.
to try to kill off the situation. And what ends up happening is it'll die back, but not die off completely.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and so I'm like developing this mutated strain of cyanobacteria that's gonna take over the planet, I think. Um, and I'm a little scared of it. So now, whenever I do water changes on that particular tank, luckily it's not a big tank. Um, I have a specific bucket and a specific hose that I will use for that tank. And then after I'm done working in it, I bleach all that stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I'm scared of it transferring around. I'll bleach it before I'll dump it into the toilet or anything to get rid of it. Just, I'll just bleach all that change water because I don't want it getting anywhere.
That's out of control.
Probably overkill, but I'm like, shoot, what do I? I'm at the point where I'm almost gonna catch the fish out of there because there's fish in there.
Uh-huh.
Um, and just like tear the whole tank apart, throw everything away, scrub it
I
apart.
I mean that's the thing. Like, dude, I've been there before, man. Like I've certainly you know, I've been there. I mean, I would go antibacterial, and I think I would see if I can get that going. Um,
Right,
that's
but like
probably
I
the
said,
best bet.
I've done gram negative, and I've done gram positive, and
Hmm.
I I've done like the follow-up treatments with both. I haven't done both at the same time because I didn't want to kill everything. And of course, the fish that are in the tank are the Z tequila live bear goodie
Hmm.
eggs. I'm like, well, I don't want to murder them. I think they're I think they're extinct in their natural habitat right now, so I don't really want to murder them. So yeah, so that's
Yeah.
kind of what's going on with this tank. It's really kind of creepy, and I don't like it. And of course, the tank looks terrible.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've been at the exact same place before, and I started the tank over. I mean, it's not that rare that you would get to that point, where it's just like, all right, f this, like.
Yeah,
I gotta just start over, and so I don't really hold that against anybody because like I've 100% been there. I just restarted the tank and then it solved it, so it's not bad advice to give it a shot. You know what I mean?
yeah, and the thing is like the only issue with it is that this was not very well planned. The stand that the tank is on, for me
Hmm.
to take the tank out, I'll have to take the tank above it off first. Is I'll
Wait,
have to take the stand apart.
Oh. Oh, to get the tank to like restart it?
In order to dig the tank out so that I can take it over to something so I can hose the thing down and then like maybe bleach it, get all the corners.
Oh. Well, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I could probably do it. It would just be more work working from where
well,
it's sitting.
I mean, if you think about it, like all you got to add is a tablespoon of bleach to the tank per gallon, right? And then you can just let it sit, and it will the bleach will evaporate, and then you can just drain it out.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So I mean, that might be definitely a time saving thing.
Yeah.
I know some people would be like, "Well, that's just dumb," but I'm like, "Oh,
I'd probably rip out the plants and potassium permanganate them.
well, yeah, I would definitely take everything out. Yeah, I certainly
Yeah.
wouldn't bleach with everything in there, but
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be a lot easier to find all the little fish if I take the plants out. I don't know. I keep trying and trying and trying to just save this poor tank, and I don't think I can. I think I need to restart it.
yeah.
It's a big headache. I've been working on it for over a year.
Oh my god. I don't know what do you have going on in that tank? What the hell is going on in there?
It's a 20-gallon tank. It's got fluorite black, the gravel, not the sand. And it has what do they call it? That pearl weed or whatever. And like a small, like a melon sword kind of growing in it and splitting off and growing all over the place. And Z tequilas.
Mm-hmm.
And right now it's got a Aquaclear 70 on the end, just like blowing all over that tank right now. Tons and tons of flow. And Fluval 3.0 running at about 50% intensity.
Man, that's wild.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, yeah, I don't know. You're kind of at that point where it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I got a superbug in my tank, and I'm always like, oh no, can't have it go to any other tank.
Right. Yeah, it's a mess.
Like I don't. Yeah, it's like my one tank that doesn't have plecos in it, and of course that's what happens.
Right. Well, plecos are just so beneficial.
Well, I think so.
Yeah, I think they are too.
They're my
And I'm not
favorite
even
stuff.
I'm not even partial. I'm not even partial to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm impartial.
Right. I'm the crazy pleco lady, and I keep on suggesting to the GSAS people that they bring in people to talk about plecos, and they haven't since I joined. I don't think they've had anybody come in to talk about plecos once.
Joining what?
Since I joined the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society, I don't think they've had a person come in to talk about plecos even once.
I don't think I can't think that they have either. I can't.
They have in the past,
Right.
just not since I joined.
I think I maybe went to one talk or something that was that had plecos and whatnot, but I don't.
Well, that
I
would have
can't say
probably
for
been
sure.
when Dean and Corey were talking about their trip to Peru, where they had plecos in Peru, but it wasn't talking about plecos. It was.
Well, I
talking
could
about the
say
fact that
I
there
could say
was.
that I don't know. I was at one of them where Corey was talking, but I don't think. I don't know. It's possible. It's maybe not. I don't know. I talked to Corey in person. I think it would be weird to like. I've watched him do his presentations before, but I normally I leave now because I'm like, I don't. It's just too weird to watch your friends do a presentation. Is that weird?
Well,
I don't know.
no, I feel like it's like being in school, like when your school chums go up and do like their book report.
Okay, I guess I don't know. I guess maybe it's making me look like a weirdo, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to be in here. But that's just me, so I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. It's a probability that I'm weird. High
No,
probability.
you're not weird. It's everybody else that's weird.
Everybody's weird. Yeah, of course. I get it. I know that I'm a weirdo. It's fine. It's fine.
Yep. Yep.
All right, my dude. I'm gonna call the. What else you got going on? Nothing.
Just other than that, it's Friday the 13th, and because like I don't know, Justin and I, we celebrate every Friday the 13th. So
Yeah, there's spooky ghosts all over the place, man. You gotta watch out.
well, we met on a Friday the 13th, and we became like a relationship on Friday the 13th, and we got engaged on Friday the 13th, and so like every Friday the 13th is special to us. So we just sort of, that's just the thing that we do.
All right. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you when I say it's just as anecdotal as everybody else's weird celebrations. Like,
Fine.
They'd be like, it's December the 25th. It's Jesus's birthday. Like, I think he was born in the spring. Shut up, you. Like, yeah,
Right.
all right.
Sometime in April, sure, but yeah, for us, that's just what we do. We're like,
That's cool.
make states.
Well, what I'm saying is, like, my point is like, it's no weirder than everybody else's weird celebrations, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, it's the 20th of September. It's the day we met. You're like, yeah, all right. That's weird too.
It's June 16th, and this is the day that, yeah.
Like, I met you on the earth, and it was this date. 2 years ago. Yeah, it's bizarre. What the hell? I'm just trying to order some more of these French cleats. I don't know. No one can notice on the show, but that picture back there is perfectly straight, and I hung it up with French cleats earlier today. And I'm very excited about it, but it's not exciting for anybody that's watching on the internet. They're like, "Oh, you have a painting on the wall?" And I'm like, "Yeah." But I'm going to order more of them because I'm very excited about it. With these brick walls, the walls in my office are concrete, and so I have to shoot things into the concrete. I decided to try out some French cleats, and it's worked quite well, so I'm going to run with it. I'm going to order a bunch of them.
Oh, good.
And go with that and just stick them into the concrete and patch the concrete later.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about.
I mean,
concrete,
Yes. Yes. And
Yeah.
we're not going to call it cement because it's actually concrete, and they are different materials.
Well, we'll got to thank your dad for that one because clearly he's affected your brain.
Right.
Your dad has messed with your brains, and so now we got to say thanks to Dad.
Right, of course.
Mhm.
I mean, it does actually irritate me when people refer to things as being like, aha, this is my cement wall. And I'm like, you made your wall out of glue?
Yeah. I did, jerk. Shut up.
Okie dokie.
That's funny. You just be out there fighting everybody, huh? Is that what you're doing? Are you just getting in fights?
Only in my head. My head is a very tumultuous place. Outwardly, though, I'm like, yeah, super zen.
Well, yeah, I've never seen you like karate kick anybody or anything like that. So,
Right. Mm-hmm.
I mean, it seems like you're keeping it together, at least to a reasonable degree, right?
Yeah.
Within
The
reason.
only time I get really mad is when somebody, I'm one of them people who like you could yell at me all you want, but you start yelling at my loved ones or whatever, and you're gonna find your face in the dirt.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, all right. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
But yeah, you were asking about the Rubbermaid containers about a brine shrimpery, right?
Oh yeah, like you know
The big square
like
ones
the
that I
Cullig
have.
or like the Culligan man drinking water bottle container things.
I think you could with those, but those are such a pain in the butt. And to be honest with you, like the 22, 18, and 12 quarts, the square ones that I have, they're on sale right now on
Cool.
Amazon for a decent price. Like the 12 quarts, $15. And the reason I bring these up is because like we use these in kitchens and restaurants. You know, they're pretty much they're virtually indestructible. They're easy to clean, and they do hold up to a lot of wear and tear. And so that's kind of why I kind of was like, well, maybe that's what she's talking about. But like those water bottles, jugs that the Culligan guys and those use, like you need like a specific thing to clean them, and then like I guess if you cut the top off of it, it would lose its structural integrity. You know what I mean? Like it becomes all floppy and weird.
Well, I mean, because right now I'm using the inverted soda bottles, you know,
Right.
and it's not, it doesn't produce, like I'm using 2 of them, and it's not producing enough for all my baby fish.
Right.
And I'm like, I could have like 5 of these going, I guess, but
Well, that's kind of what I was saying was like you could stick a, because these are square, it'd be pretty easy to find something to mount it to, and they have that flat bottom, and you could just drill a hole in the bottom of it, put a bulkhead in there, and then put a valve,
cool.
which would be pretty easy to do.
That would be good. Yeah,
you know,
I'm thinking,
and they, you could get like an 8
for-
quart one and a 6 quart one. Like a 6 quart one right now is $7. So I mean, those little 6 quarts could probably do a pretty good job, but you could do a really big one. You could do like a 12 quart or even a 22 quart one, which is pretty big, but then you just got to drop your air stone in there. And that's all pretty simple, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, we might need to have continued conversation about how this would work with how I like to do things.
Yeah, I don't know how you
yeah,
like to do
'cause-
things. It's a bizarro world.
exactly. Because obviously, that's me. You think you're weird. I'm weird.
From time to time.
Right. And I'm just thinking, I'm trying to put like a list in my head of the things that I'm gonna need for the future, because I'll probably have more tanks and more fish in the future when I have a fish room, and need much more brine shrimp, and I will not want to have 12 of those 2-liter pop bottle things.
Yeah.
That's just some freaking nonsense. Like I'm sitting there cleaning them out every single day and being like, oh, it takes 36 hours for these things to hatch out. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
already
it's a bit much.
so much easier to get the can of brine shrimp eggs from Brine Shrimp Direct. Like so much easier to get the scoop in there and
Well, I think
count that out.
I think Corey's selling those cans now. Aquarium Co-op is.
Maybe. I don't think he's got the Brine Shrimp Direct big old cans, but
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
have, yeah, I don't know. I just get from Brine Shrimp Direct. I just kind of get the thing that it's like I know that Corey sells or Co-op sells Rapashi, like all the different flavors of Rapashi, pretty much.
Uh-huh.
But I order the 70 70-ounce tubs of the things, and he doesn't sell those.
Oh, right. It's
Yeah.
not big enough.
No, not at all.
All right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, I used to buy those from him, but they stopped carrying it. So, yeah, I
They
was kind
just
of
don't.
upset. Yeah, I
They
actually
don't.
talked to.
Yeah, that's right. Like they don't even carry those big jugs anymore.
No, they had them sitting on the floor in the front of the store,
Hmm.
and I would just pick them up from there and buy them. But yeah, they stopped carrying them. I guess they were just taking up space in the store because not everybody has a whole bunch of plecos like me that need tons and tons of food all the time.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I talked to Robert about it, and he was like, "Yeah, we're not going to carry that anymore." And I was like, "Okay, that's cool. I'll just buy it from Rapashi. It's okay."
Hmm. Okay. All right, man. I'm gonna hang up on you now.
Okay.
You gotta go. You get out of here
Yeah.
now.
I will. You have a good afternoon.
Oh yeah. You too. That's the show.
Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the.